Welcome into week 7 of the Final Drive. I'm Zach Hanley alongside Andrew Banstra, and we're closing in on those playoffs.
It's hard to believe, but that means that the race for conference crowns is heating right up. Look no further than the Capital Conference. Two teams entered the day not only undefeated in conference play, but, oh, by the way, they're a combined 12-0.
Two teams that would be Columbus and Lake Mills, and it just so happens that those two would meet tonight in a top 5 showdown in Division 4. Columbus has won 5 straight over Lake Mills, and the Cardinals love that ground and pound game. Check out Connor Roche. He goes straight up the gut, turns on the Jets. 57 yards later, he's in for 6. Monster night from him. 318 yards, 5 tutties. That one puts Cbus up 8-0. Now, Lake Mills would answer right back. Tyler Woline drops back and puts it only where Dylan Brinkman can get it. That's an LCAT TD. Columbus, though, would not be denied. Cardinals fly on to 7-0 with a 45-24 win. Well, speaking of conference races, two teams have separated themselves from the rest of the pack in the Badger Large.
Both Waunakee and Sun Prairie East are a perfect 4-0 in conference play. The winner tonight moves one step closer to clinching a conference crown. Warriors have beaten the Cardinals in each of the last 2 seasons. Pick things up in the second quarter. Waunakee leading 14-7 and driving. Vance Johnson sticks it right on a streaking Aiden Meinholz, and they'd move the chains, setting up this. At the goal line, a handoff to Eli Drangsvit, and he banks it. 4-6, touchdown Waunakee. They take a 21-17 lead. But the Cardinals, they weren't backing down in front of their home crowd. Max Ramey, he finds his man Jacoby Moore. You might think it's a touchdown, but they said he was down just short. So a few plays later, Brady Kaufman, he finds his way in for 7. But this was a shocker. The defenses, they pitched a shutout for both sides in the second half. So Waunakee hangs on to win it 21-17.
In the Badger Small, Mount Horror Barneveld keeps trucking along. MHB made quick work of Lakeside Lutheran. The Vikings moved to 7-0 with a 61-14 win. They'll face Edgewood next week. The Crusaders lose a tough one. They fall to Stoughton 35-28 in overtime.
When it comes to the South Central Conference, Wisconsin Dells is usually near or at the top of the standings.
In the last 3 seasons, they've went 19-2 in the conference while capturing 2 titles. And Andrew, this year is no different. The Dells hosting Berlin. Both teams undefeated in conference play. The Indians, though, got off to a fast start. Aaron Bartle fakes the handoff and connects with Hayden Reddington, and he walks in for 6. Berlin takes a 7-0 lead. Then later in the first quarter, it gets a little messy here. Jacob Martin tries to run it in, but fumbles, ball loose, and it rolls right into Bartle's hands, and he's in for another score. Now, the Dells would answer in the second. Sam Ursuline showing off his wheels, and nobody gonna catch that man. That cuts the lead to 8, but Berlin takes it 42-6. Now, Andrew, it's not often we get a big-time non-conference matchup this late in the season, but here we are.
The reigning Division 4 state champions, Lodi, hosting Darlington, the runner-ups in Division 6. It's really a nice little measuring stick to see where you are right before the playoffs. Redbirds enter on a 4-game win streak, and they picked up right where they left off. First drive for Darlington, and how about the quarterback, Zeke Zuberbuehler? He says, I'm just going to take it from here, outlasting the Blue Devil defense and giving the Redbirds the first score of the game. But Darlington, they weren't even close to done. Midway through the second, Dante Glendenning dashing through the Blue Devils defense, and quickly Darlington takes a 21-3 lead. But they wanted more. This time it's Callum Christ quickly kicking it into high gear. Christ at full throttle, and nobody's touching him. Talk about a statement win and a statement statistic. Darlington runs for 304 yards in the first half and wins it big, 55-10. Well, it felt like Cambridge and Partyville have been on a collision course since conference play started in the Eastern Suburban.
And even though there are 2 weeks left after tonight, this game is massive. Winner all but clinches a conference championship. Both squads are undefeated and ranked in the top 5 in the Division 6. Partyville got off to a great start. Logan Young sends a dart to Jamison Wickersham, and he's streaking in the end zone from 55 yards out to put the Bulldogs up 21-6 in the second quarter. But after that, it was all Blue Jays. First, Matthew Buckman calls his own number from a yard out to make it a one-score game. And then later, it's Buckman again. This time, he sets his feet and chucks it deep to his BFF, Kiefer Parrish. And it's simple math, Andrew. 4 + 2 = 6. Cambridge stays perfect with a 40-21 win. So Darlington, we just mentioned them. They win. They'll face Cuba City next week with a SWAL championship on the line because the Cubans beat Fenimore tonight, and the #1 team in Division 7, Potosi-Cassville, moved to 7-0 with another impressive win in the Six Rivers Conference.